Hey y'all. Today's objective is solving multi-step equations. So multi-step meaning more than one step. Just a few notes. Isolate the variable on one side. So you might have equations where you have only one variable, and you might have equations where you have variables on both sides of the equal sign. You're going to do the order of operations backwards, which means to solve an equation you have to work backwards. You're going to do undo addition or subtraction first, then you're going to multiply or divide. And you're always going to check by plugging in your solution. So whenever you get an answer, x equals 4, you can plug that number back in and check your work. So here are your steps. Now, over here, I started with step number 1 is distributive property because that's the first step. However, if you're still having trouble with the negative and the minus, then you can slip in right here, touch twice, if that works for you. Remember, subtraction is negative. So I am not going to touch twice today. I'm going to talk through the problem, but I'm not going to touch twice because I want you to try to start training your brain to not have to touch twice. Combine like terms, and then move the variables if you need to. Move the variables to the side. Okay, so your first example, solved. My equation, 2 times 5x minus 3 equals 14. So I've distributed, so you would distribute the 2, and I get 10x, 2 times 5x, minus 6, 2 times 3 is 6. Notice I did not touch twice, equals 14. So then you have to add 6 to both sides, and now I have 10x equals 20. So my last step is I'm going to divide both sides by 10, and x equals 2. Then you can plug that answer back in. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 minus 3 is 7, and 7 times 2 is 14. So then we can check it. Number 2, I've distributed. So negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Now watch this. Negative 3 times negative 12, because really that's a negative. Negative 3 times negative 12 is positive 36. And then I bring everything else down. So I've shown you I've combined my like terms. On one side of the equals, I have negative 3x, and then I have this is a negative x. So when I combine those, I get negative 4x. So I've shown you the combined like terms. Plus 36 equals 8. Then you subtract 36 from both sides, and these cancel. And then you get negative 4x equals 8 minus 36 is negative 28. We're going to divide both sides by negative 4, and x equals 7. If you want to check your answer, you plug 7 back in, and you make sure that this side equals 8. All right, number 3, x plus 4 equals 2x minus 6. So notice we have variables on both sides of the equal sign. Variable over here, variable over here. We don't have any distributive, and we don't have any combined like terms. You cannot combine these since they're on opposite sides of the equal sign. You can only combine them if they are together. We cannot combine these. We have to start the solving process. So I noticed that if I move this x over here, if I subtract x, then I'm going to be left with a positive. If I were to have done minus 2x and gotten over here, then I would have had a negative variable. So I looked at it and I did what was going to be easiest for me. So I did minus x, these cancel, and 2x minus x is 1x, so that's 1x. And then I brought everything else down. Now I have to do this, plus 6, and 4 plus 6 is 10, and x equals 10. If you want to check, then you plug it in. 10 plus 4 is 14. 20, this is 2 times 10. 20 minus 6 is 14. So it checks out. All right, here's another one that's really long. First thing we do is we distribute. So I got 2x plus 4. Now I have to combine like terms. So I combined 4x plus 2x, and I got 6x. And then I brought everything down. Now I'm going to start the solving process. So I'm looking. If I do minus 6 and bring it over here, that's going to give me a negative. So this time I'm going to do minus 5x, and 6x minus 5x is 1x. And then I bring everything else down. Do you see that? That's a negative 5. Again, I'm not touching twice. If you want to touch twice, you can. I'm not touching twice. So now I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, and x equals negative 9. Because negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9. And then you can plug it back in to check. But we're going to keep going. Alright, so here are some more equations. Copy those down. And then I'm going to work through those from start to finish with you. First thing is we distribute. If you want to touch twice, you can. I'm not going to, but we should come out with the same answer. So negative 3m, this is a negative 3 times a negative 6, so that's going to be plus 18. Now I'm going to combine like terms. I'm going to combine like terms. 18 minus 20 is a negative 2. A negative 2. Positive 18 minus 20 is a negative 2. So now I'm going to start the solving process. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. Now I have negative 3m equals 6. I'm going to divide by negative 3. And m equals negative 2. Because 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2. If you got confused, then rewind it, watch it back, and listen and watch my steps. Let's do this one together. I don't have any distribute. I don't have any combine like terms, so we're going to solve. Since this is a minus 7x, I'm going to move it over here, so I'm going to do plus 7x. And I get 17x minus 22 equals 29, because that's gone. Now I can add 22. And I get 17x equals 51. And I know that I'm going to divide by 17, and x equals 3. You can check yourself by coming back up here and saying 10 times 3 is 30, minus 22 is 8. And 29 minus 7 times 3 is 21, so 29 minus 21 is 8. So again, you can always, always, always check your answer. So these last two are you tries. I want you to try them on your own, and then we are going to go over these two problems in class, and I will let the class leaders pick somebody for number 7 and somebody for number 8, and I will give out a piece of candy. So I hope you understand multi-step equations. If not, watch it again and listen carefully.